Welcome back. So, welcome. I'm going to be doing the 2020 readings for next year. And as I look up, I have 1111 on the top of my screen. I have 11 people in here and 11 likes to get us started. What's up? That's what's up. So, yes, welcome. I'll let the room fill up and just chat with you guys for a moment. And then we're going to do some 2020 reads. Now, I'm still going to be live on Sunday, so this is not taking place of my weekly reads, no worries. But these will be kind of like abbreviated, and for my members, I will do a little bit more on the members only page. Good morning, Wendy. I'm channeling my dark side today. You like? If you like what I'm wearing, it is in my sister's boutique, so you can buy it yourself. She has an online boutique. It's linked in the description box below. And if you're watching, Sissy, I love you. She always makes sure I got cute clothes. But you know, sometimes I gotta channel my inner dark side. Because it's there, trust me. So, yes, welcome. And let me see what I have in here. I hope everybody had a good holiday season. Hey, Carmen, you made it. Hey, Shaylee. Welcome. You made it. You made it. Am I fuzzy? I look fuzzy. Anyways, so I hope everybody had a lovely holiday. My Christmas this year was nuts. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I love my family, and I know that they watch me, so I love you all. But we just, when we all get together, you know, we just bring out the crazy in each other. I don't know what it is. Don't get me wrong, it's fun. If I had a camera follow me around all the time and you guys saw my family and the weirdness of the dynamic in my family, I could probably have a reality show based off of it, because it's just never, you know, I'm sure people like do Christmas and they go over to their family's house and they eat and then they like sit and watch football and something, and then they go home. That's not what happens in my family. It's much different than that. Not in a bad way, you know. We're just different. Like, we get rowdy. We play games. We played this saran wrap game where you have to put on oven mitts, and then you have to, like, you get a timer and you have to unwrap it, and there's like lotto tickets and money hidden in it. Oh my God, it was so funny, except for the fact that everybody in my family is really competitive. So it got really intense. Also, my dad is somewhat of, I guess what you would call like a motorhead, right? So he's always had old cars that he fixes up. He used to race, he used to drag race, and he was really good at it. And so he's always had motorcycles and cars and all that, you know. Well, we decided to rev the motorcycle up in Christmas fashion. So, I won't tell the whole story, but it was an interesting Christmas. It was fun, though. I love my family, as crazy as they are. But other than that, things went good. The food was good. My kids are very happy. I hate wrapping presents, but my mother came over, if you remember, Southern RN, and she wrapped them all for me. Oh, speaking of which, and then I'm going to get started. You want to see what one of my moderators got me for Christmas? Hold on. So now, for all of those of you in the chat who might have a really difficult question, ta-da! Oh, wait. Ta-da! So when people ask me stupid questions in the chat, I shouldn't say that. There's no such thing as a stupid question, but you know, the trolls, I'm going to answer them. I'm going to answer them with my 8-ball. Seems unlikely. Well, okay. So thank you, Southern RN. Love it. Love you. I got a good kick out of this one. And oh, you know I'm going to use it. Oh, I'm going to have this on every live. Ask me a dumb question. I'll let the 8-ball answer it. My sources say no. So yeah. I think like when I got it, I was thinking like, oh, I should give that, you know, maybe to one of my kids. But I was like, no way. I'm going to have so much fun with that thing. I'm totally keeping it. Totally going to use it. So. Anyways, I love Christmas. Love the holidays. Happy it's over. Like I'm happy it's over. I'm ready for the new year. I'm ready for 2020. So let's talk about that because that's why we're here. So I'm going to go Aries through Pisces. I don't know how in depth I'll go. I'll feel it out. I've already done a few readings this morning, and I don't like to do like more than a few. So depending on what my energy level feels like, depends on how deep I'll go into these. But my members, if you're a member, I'll be posting some stuff this weekend as well. And I may go live there as well and do some private chats right there on the spot if you're in the room. So check that out. Let's talk about 2020 in general and the energy that's coming through, right? So for the collective, 2020 is going to be a pretty big year of transformation. And if you've read up on it at all, then you're already aware of that. You know, it's going to be a very interesting year. You know, things have to change in order for new things to come in. And that's kind of what it's going to be about to position us for 2021. So you think of 2020 as the beginning of a new decade, and it's also a leap year, I believe, this year. But actually, the new energy ushers in right towards the end of next year, more so towards 2021, because this year is kind of all about transformations and changes and things that need to get into place before that decade starts, right? So it'll be an interesting year, I can tell you. For December, it kind of started with the solstice and the full moon and now the new moon. So the energy's already started to change and you've probably already felt it. Okay, so it's something that you'll feel internally and there's really no like escaping it, right? So things might be a little wacky right now. Okay, might have a lot of weird things happening. There was a release energy where things were coming to a close. So this should be interesting, right? I don't usually go this far ahead in readings, but I am going to do some 2020 general energies, okay? And I'm going to use 3 decks. I'm going to use the Angel Tarot, my new moon cards, and the Numinous. So hold on to your butts, coconuts. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. Also, I started the January readings. I did you versus them. That's what you guys voted for. So just for January, I'm bringing them back. I have Aries and Scorpio done. So your videos for January will be up probably today. So don't forget to check those out. I usually release about 2 zodiac signs each day until the week is through. So, you know, be patient. Yours will be out within the week. Okay, so by the end of next week, they'll all be out. So, let's see. You have a date tonight with a Virgo? Carmen. I had Virgo energy show up in the Aries reading I just did. Check out the you versus them later. I don't know. Let me know. All right, so we're going to start. I got about 90 in here, which is pretty good for the middle of the day on a Friday. I don't usually go live this time. Okay. Aries. Aries for the year of No, I wasn't ready yet. Aries for the year 2020. What energy? Just looking at energies for 2020 for Aries. Okay, Aries, I wanted one card and you kept getting like a million, so I'm going to take them. Oh, this is funny because this was in the reading I just did for you and I haven't even posted it yet. But you have new moon in Aries. It's time to take action. Thank you for purchasing a membership, Live, Laugh, Love. Then you have the full moon eclipse, which is conclusions are within reach. You're very close to achieving your goal. A time to give rather than a time to take. And the energy is gaining momentum. Aries, nice. Now, I felt this in the reading that I just did for you. Like I said, I literally just wrapped that reading up before I went live. So I felt like there was like a forward momentum type of energy, a little bit slower energy than you like, but and that there were going to be adjustments required in the beginning of January. But I see like a continuation of that here. So I feel like might start off the year very revved up. Okay. So wanting to take action on your goals, wanting to take action on the things that you want in place for your life. And then as the year progresses, Aries, it's like you're coming to conclusions and achieving some goals, specifically in career, that I think that you've really been putting some time and energy in. And I feel like come towards, let's see, what's this? Come towards around April or May, you'll be in a position where you're able to give, you know, and be more generous because you have it to give. Do you know what I'm saying? Whether that's money, time, or energy. Because I feel like the energy is gaining momentum here. So whatever you're taking action on in January, come towards the middle of the year, it's going to continue to gain that momentum. Okay, so I'm liking that for you, Aries. So let's go a little bit farther into it. You know, I was only going to do one card of each deck, but I think I'm going to do all 12 months and see. Thank you for purchasing a membership, Donna. Thank you, always me, Kathleen Tarot, for also purchasing a membership. Appreciate you guys. So, it's all about having faith in your dreams, Aries. This year, just remember that nothing is set in stone, okay? So it's going to be important to stay, I guess, flexible throughout the year. You know, and kind of go with the tides of your life. I have a song in my head. Oh, gosh. It's called Landslide. I think I've gotten that for you before. 'Cause I've been afraid of changing, 'cause I built my life around you. As I say that, I look down. So step out of your comfort zone. Yeah. So whatever fear has held you back, it's going to be released during this upcoming year. So specifically around probably spring or summer. So just let me get a few more cards out and then I'll talk to you a little bit more. Okay. Oh, okay. All right. So, Aries, I feel like we're starting off the month with things kind of reaching a conclusion here. Starting off the year, I should say, and very action oriented. You are in your element come January. Okay. So you might be feeling that rev right now. And then I feel like for the remaining of the winter, it's kind of like things are reaching a conclusion, getting close to achieving your goal, and then getting into a place where you can be more generous with your time and energy. So things are going to continue to gain momentum throughout the year. It'll be important for you to be able to roll with the tides of your life, like that song spoke of, and step out you're being asked to step outside of your comfort zone a little bit, okay? And have faith in your dreams. And it takes risk in order for you to do that. But I feel like if you let pride get in your way, it will literally block things from coming to fruition. Okay, so be careful about ego. Be careful about pride. Pridefulness. For some of you, you need to be careful of quite literally a Leo in the month of, or in the year 2020. What month is this? January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. In October. Either way, it's a reminder that you're good enough, but have a humbleness to it, okay, Aries? You're gonna literally take your dreams, whether that's in love, work, whatever, and make it a practical reality in the year 2020, and kind of releasing the things of your past, stepping outside of your comfort zone, are all going to be really important things. And when some change comes about, which I'm seeing like around July, it's important that you go with the tide, don't drown in it, okay, and have faith that if someone is trying to interfere here, because I do feel like there's an interference during this time frame, that nothing's going to come of that situation as long as you don't let your pride get in the way. All right, so I definitely want to know what the interference is here. And, by the way, I'm giving you some timelines, but time is but a concept, people. It kind of depends on where you're at. So Libra energy here. I would be cautious of Libra energy and Leo energy, just saying. So if you let somebody over flatter you, okay, if someone's trying to feed into your ego, there's a caution here, because that's going to be a block for some reason in the year 2020. So if you want to keep it harmonious and cooperative, just stay socially aware, see things for what they are, not what you want them to be. That type of vibe, you know what I'm saying? Oh, a thief. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Seven of Swords. So I think there is, and it doesn't have to be these zodiac signs, but I literally have Libra and Leo here. But it could be any zodiac sign. But it's like, don't over idealize a situation and let your pride get in the way, or don't let somebody overinflate your ego, Aries. Like if somebody's blowing you up and they're making you feel wonderful and great, and you let that cloud your vision, there's deception around that situation, and it'll block things, okay? And then I feel like it might hit your self-esteem pretty hard, make you feel like you're not good enough. And you know what I feel this is? There might be someone, Aries, that's kind of like naysaying in the year 2020, that are like telling you like you're reaching too far, you're not being practical, that you can't do something. And it's like, don't let that hold you back, because actually the energy is gaining momentum, okay? And you're actually very close to achieving that. All right, so I guess like be cautious of that energy, and it could be more than one person, most definitely. But like I said, that's what I saw there. Don't let past people and past situations hold you back. Okay? And don't return to the past out of comfort. All right? Woo. See, I knew these weren't going to be fast, and I wanted them to be fast. So that's kind of the overall energy I'm seeing for you, Aries. Let's go to Taurus now. Hold on one second. You know what's weird is I have you guys pulled up on my laptop, but it's like 10 minutes behind where I'm actually at. Is that not bizarre or what? Is that bizarre? No. Okay. Taurus. How do I have 142 of you in here and only 38 likes? If you're watching me, you better like. Give me some love, y'all. There we go. It's going up now. All right. No, Libra has not been read yet. Welcome, Carmen. You're about to start blocking people? Oh, well. Oh, I have trolls in here? I didn't even notice. Who cares? All right, so Taurus. Thank you. Taurus, let's see. Well, Southern RN, it's Friday, and it's the middle of the day. I don't know why that makes a difference, but when I go live on Sundays, it's a much more peaceful crowd, and Fridays, every time I go live on a Friday, it brings out the ugly. I don't know. It's probably the people that are like unemployed or they don't have a job, anything better to do, you know. I happen to be off today. That's why I went live today. All right, Taurus. So, Taurus, I think that you're starting off the year, you know, kind of looking for answers. The problem is you're looking outside of yourself, and you shouldn't be, because if you recall your mid-December reading, I think the title of it was, Are You Psychic? Because I felt that, Taurus, you had a lot of psychic energy around you. And then your intuition was telling you what you already needed to know. So I see that energy here again. And it's Gemini energy as well. So you might be on the cusp of Taurus and Gemini are dealing with that in the month of January. Or it's just simply the energy that's around you. It's a very communicative type of vibe, Taurus, to start your year out. Maybe very interested in being more extroverted or more communicative or more social, okay, in the month of January. Then as we go into February, it says luck is on your side, and this is Sagittarius energy. Lots of extroverted energy, Taurus, which is interesting because, you know, Taurus, you're not always, not that you're not extroverted, but you're not always the first to put your name out there, you know what I'm saying? Because that's that earth practical fixed nature about you. But I feel like you're ready for some travel and adventures, and I see that you might have some of that possible for you, especially during January, February, March-ish time frame, because it's all about stepping out of your comfort zone, okay? I feel for the first quarter of 2020 and tapping into your more adventurous side, you know what I'm saying? So okay, I like that, Taurus. Then come the spring here, you have bring love into the situation. Aquarius energy, and then super moon here, which is a very emotionally intense vibe. So I feel that, love may be very, very highlighted during the months of April and May in particular, but I'm seeing like spring type of vibes here. So you're going to be you're really going to want to be careful of that and cognizant about, keeping yourself, I don't want to say like walled off, but like compartmentalizing a little bit, like an Aquarius would. It's okay to feel the emotion, but don't let it like override your brain. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I feel like that type of energy, right? Don't let it override your decisions, okay? Because as we go into June and July, it's all about, pushing through that energy, going towards your goals, looking at the bigger picture, and having faith in your dreams, okay? So it's funny because you start out the year like wanting to step outside your comfort zone, and then maybe you step a little bit too far out, and it gets very emotional and a bit like of an erratic energy here. And then things kind of calm down and you kind of get a bigger look, a bigger picture look here in June and July, and the energy kind of waxes a little bit. Yeah, and you go into more of a balanced energy. So summertime is more about, yes, you're still like an extroverted energy, but it's more of a practical vibe. It's more of a peaceful vibe. It's more of a behind the scenes vibe, okay? And I feel like you're going to come to some sort of conclusion, especially as you go into fall, So whatever I feel that you needed answers for in January is going to sort of play out through the beginning of the year. And then there's a conclusion here come the fall. Could be when we have an eclipse. I don't know if we have an eclipse in the fall. Maybe. And then it says, then you have a win-win outcome here. So Taurus, I like that, right? So, I feel like things are going to be balanced here come towards November, December, and then it's time to take action again. You're literally going full circle this year. Literally going full circle. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like the energy this upcoming year is asking you to step outside of your comfort zone. Bring, love into the situation, but don't let love and emotions overrule you this year. It'll be important for you to see the bigger picture and stay balanced. I think that whatever this is you need answers for in January, and I know it's going to kill you to hear this, it'll come to conclusion, but not till October, I feel. But I do feel it's favorable, okay? And then it puts you in a position where you can now take action again. So I do want to see that. So what is the conclusion here? Could be dealing with a Scorpio or Aquarius in regards to what the conclusion is over. It doesn't have to be because it's a general read. So I feel like there's going to be some big changes come this year, particularly in the fall. And there's a learning curve here. But I feel like whatever it is you're passionate about, whatever secrets are here, or whatever you're seeking answers for in the beginning of January, that is going to come out, particularly in October. And I feel like with that brings a learning curve and a lesson here, Taurus, but it also is favorable to you. because it brings about some sort of balance here. Let's see. Yeah, so you have freedom here. Virgo energy, the reflection, and then the Hanged Man. So you're going to be freed of a situation here, you know, or things are going to come to a conclusion here. And some of you have already prophesized this, and this reminds me of your mid-December reading where I felt like you were seeing things before they were happening. So spirituality is going to be important as well this upcoming year. And you're going to see things from a different perspective. So as the year closes in 2020, things that you once felt obligated to, you're going to be freed from. And I think that's what balances out the situation here. Okay, whether that's thoughts, people, literal obligations, who knows. And you'll be able to see it for what it truly is, you know. And some of you already know what this is. You may be very, very in tune this upcoming year. But it releases the energy. So that's what I have for Taurus. Zodiac signs that might be of importance, and don't get too caught up on this, of this year: Aquarius, Gemini, Scorpio, Pisces, Sagittarius, Taurus, Virgo, Aries, Libra, is what I have here. We got something going on in the chat right now. Hold on a second. Spam. Okay. Sorry. I don't know what my face looks like, but probably looks crazy right now. Jim Gaffigan's in here. I love that comedian. Wow, there's a lot of crazies in here. I am never going to go live during this time again. Let's bust out the magic 8-ball for my trolls. It says, most likely, I didn't really ask a question. Will they go away? It is certain. They'll go away. Don't worry. This is why I don't go every time I go live on a Friday. This happens. Every time. That's why I don't go live on Fridays. All right. Gemini. Be gone, trolls. Gemini. Sorry, because I'm using the same deck and I'm using so many cards out of it, I want to shuffle it more often than I would. I do need a magic wand. I could use that on a lot of different things in my life. Poof, be gone. Gemini. And a whip. Ooh, yeah. Give me a whip. I like that. Gemini. So Gemini, starting out January with the full moon in Cancer card, and it's talking about personal issues reaching a resolution. Okay, so I could tell you, Gemini, the full moon on the 12th released a lot of suppressed emotions. Okay, so you may be feeling that bubble to the surface, especially in January, but it could already be starting in December. A lot of shadow work going on for you to start the year. Now I have a Scorpio moon out, which is working through your fears. So I feel like, you know, you might be faced with a lot of things that you need to face, and it may be very uncomfortable. But we only do shadow work when we really truly need to release things. And so, as I say that, it says, what do you need to release? January, February, March, starting out the year, that's pretty much the energy here, is working through that, working through personal and emotional things, releasing your anything that holds you back. Okay, whether and there's we fear a lot of different things. Some of us fear loss, some of us fear judgment, some of us fear vulnerability. Whatever it is for you, and you know what it is for you, Gemini, then you'll be working through that in the beginning of 2020 so that you can release it. It's not like the most popular thing to go through, okay? But it is necessary in order for things to come to resolution. So that's kind of where you're starting off here. It's a lot of water energy as well. So lots of emotions here. Now, as you go throughout the year, and just keep in mind, how quickly you do this also depends on your timeline. Some of you may have already reached this resolution. Some of you might be halfway into this path. You know what I'm saying? So don't like get caught up on the months, but I'm just letting you know for a reference point. Because then I feel, you know, nothing is yet set in stone. There is a lot of emotions here. A lot, which is really weird for an air sign. Because I think usually, Gemini, you're very good at compartmentalizing, like I talked about earlier, like Aquariuses do, where you can kind of shut those off, go to the other twin. You know what I'm saying? But I feel that there's a reason that you've not been able to push through that, and it's because you're being asked you're being asked to feel it. You know, to feel it and face it. So it'll be important to keep your confidence in place. So now we're in spring, right? So March, April, you have the new moon in Leo highlighted here. So confidence will be key. And then you kind of go into action-oriented mode, okay? So going May into June, believe in the impossible. It's going to be important to keep your faith in practice for you. And also to know that you are safe. Okay, so if you're watching this and you're like, oh God, I don't want to go through anything, like I don't want to feel my emotions, and like you're freaking out right now, don't freak out. Okay, so this is a promise of safety. This is saying, yeah, okay, universe is going to put you through a lot of emotional things that are going to make you feel a bit uncomfortable, but just know you're in a safe space to do this. Okay, and believe that it is possible to move through that, and it's going to end up helping you to build up your confidence, which will help you be more successful, and put you kind of in an action-oriented mood. All right, bring out some of the more fiery parts of you. So hold on to your vision, Gemini. Don't get distracted. That's going to be really important. I have almost all water and 2 fire elements here, no air. So you might feel a little bit out of your element for a lot of the year. Now, if you have a water moon or rising or a fire moon or rising, this might be a little bit easier of an energy for you. So yeah, so I feel like, you know, there might be a point in time, especially come like fall, around Leo season, where you, I don't know how to put it. You might be like impossible to get along with. Sorry. I don't know how to say it. Because I think that you're doing a lot of emotional work. Okay, so that can make a Gemini, an air sign, be very irritable. Okay, and so just be careful of that you don't let that get out of control or in your way, all right, when Leo season comes in particular, like around August, September, July. Your commitment is being tested, okay, whether that's commitment to self, commitment in a marriage, commitment in your career, whatever this is for you. But I think that come the end of December, this is going to put you in a more of a balanced state. And I know you're watching this and you're thinking, well, that doesn't sound right. But I'm telling you, it's going to make you more of a practical energy. And this is also an emotional awakening energy. Okay, so if you haven't dived into spirituality yet, hold on to your butt. Coconut. I don't know why that's my favorite saying lately, but this is usually what shadow work is about. And I could tell you, I'm a Gemini rising. The darkest years I've ever had made me the strongest. And it connected me to spirituality more because you look deeper. You're looking deeper into things. And so I think that that's kind of what this energy is all about, is bringing more balance and practicality to that and making you more committed to yourself. You know, making yourself more committed to the vision that you hold for yourself. But also know that while you're going through this Gemini, there's going to be, you know, things reaching a resolution too. So if you've been having trouble finding resolutions to things, or there's been personal issues going on, I do feel like that will resolve. But it'll be easy to get caught up in like a fear-based mentality or getting wrapped up in your emotions more so than you typically would. Okay, but keep in mind that you're in a safe space to do so and hold on to what you know is possible for you without letting pride get in your way. Hard to do. So, kind of interested in knowing what the fears are, so... What are the fears that you're going to be working through? Heartache, sensitivity, blessings, ideas, and progress. So this speaks to me about fearing to be vulnerable because you've been hurt, not being able to see blessings when they're in front of you because they've been taken at times, not being afraid to express ideas or put them into action, fear of failure, you know, is being specifically highlighted here. So for some of you, like I said, this timeline is that you've already worked through that, but it's kind of coming to a head the beginning of January. For others of you, you're going to continue to work through it all throughout the winter time, and then a full release here as spring comes in. Then your confidence kind of revs up in spring, and you're holding on to that, okay? But I think overall this year is going to bring you more balance when it comes to your spiritual self and your practical self. And you know, I don't usually mention other readers on here. Sorry, I'm in the sun. And I guess I won't mention his name just because I don't want to like name drop or anything. But he was saying in one of his videos that, you know, sometimes people get so caught up in like the ethereal, the spiritual, not being here, not being present, that it's toxic. You know, so, and needing to avoid that. And like, it's okay to get in the raft of spirituality to get you to the other side, to get you to what you need, to the answer, but then you don't then get out of the raft and then carry it on your back. You know, you don't need it anymore. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, use it when you need it, but don't carry it around all of the time, you know? And that was the analogy that he gave. And he's a smart guy. So I really liked that analogy because it was a good representation of how you can go overboard with it, you know? Or like people who love to like indulge in things that alter the mind, you know, marijuana and whatever it is that they like that alters their mind, and they're always in that state, and then they can't see reality anymore, you know, because you're always trying to escape reality. You're not a part of it anymore. That's when it becomes toxic, you know what I'm saying? So it's like having spirituality but also having practicality and needing to keep that vision in place. Okay, that's what I feel. Signs that could be of significance this upcoming year are Pisces, Leo, Cancer, Aries, Scorpio. And I can't remember what cards came out earlier. Yeah, those are the predominant energies there. All right. So that's Gemini. Cancer. Thank you for purchasing a membership, Wendy. Appreciate you, girl. Cancer. No, I'm just nasally. I saged my room this morning before I did Aries and Scorpio's reading, and I oversaged it. Look, 111 in here, or 111 likes. Cool. I've been seeing 1111 like crazy lately. So, if you believe in twin flames, and I'm on the fence with that one, but supposedly it's a time period where twin flames are coming into union. You've been seeing 1111 since April. To me, it's more of a representation of things coming into place, of that, you know, that this moment in time is going to be significant for whatever reason. That's what it means to me. But everybody, I mean, everybody's got their own interpretation. Cancer. Cancer. So you're coming into the year with the new moon and Pisces card, which is all about meditate and contemplate. It's so interesting because Gemini ended on this card and you are beginning on this card, and you saw me shuffle my deck, right? So some of you are definitely cuspers or close to the Gemini cutoff, or you might have that somewhere in your chart. But it's all about, you know, the ending of a tough cycle for January and February, and maintaining your composure in January. I feel like you're going to be taking some time out to self, to reflect, you know. This is kind of an introverted type of vibe. It's a very analytical type of energy for January, very contemplative, okay? And I feel like things are kind of wrapping up here. So the end of a tough cycle approaches in February, and then things allow you to take action, and healing is taking place, which is a really nice way to start off the year. And similar to Gemini's, there is something that needs to be released, and it's going to be in the first quarter or the beginning of spring here, because it's time, you know what I'm saying? So if you've been holding on to people, if you've been holding on to grudges, relationships, whatever it is, that you're going to be called to release that, so that you can heal that. And then you have faith in your dreams. So now we're what? January, February, March, April, May, June. Okay, so as the year progresses, Cancer, you know, I think that things are going to balance out. If you have any outstanding like court items, anything to deal with the judicial system or law or career for some of you, I feel like that will be in your favor, okay, in particular. And you're going to be getting closer to achieving your goal, whatever that goal is that you've set out, okay? Because things might have been you know, tough, especially at the beginning of the year, or whether that's financially or love wise, but I feel like things will balance out, okay, particularly in the summer months. You know, so have confidence in that. Don't I don't know how to put it. Don't be wishy-washy, Cancer. Not that I think Cancers are a wishy-washy sign. I actually think Cancers are very, very confident, generally. You know, yes, you're an emotional powerhouse, that's for certain. And you can be a little dramatic at times, right? But that's because you feel things, you know, and you somewhat wear your heart on your sleeve. But I do feel like confidence is a strong suit of Cancer. Okay, and so it's going to be important to exude that during this upcoming year. Yeah, because I feel like the energy is slowly pushing forward throughout the year, okay? So cycles are ending at the beginning. Then you're going to be taking action and doing things for you, taking time out for you. There's a release happening towards spring. And then I feel like if you've been waiting on an outcome, it's here, particularly in the summer months. Ooh. And you know what this is all about, Cancer, this whole year? We go through like the entire year and we think like there's all these crazy things happening, but usually there's like one overall lesson, you know, if you really look back on each year that you've learned about yourself. So I feel like, you know, it's all about feeling good enough, honestly, and knowing your worth. Okay, so I think that there'll be times in 2020 where the emotions are really going to run high and you'll need to take a time to breathe. Okay, so don't react out of emotion, which sounds like impossible to ask a Cancer to do, but it's asking you to stay more balanced, okay? And take time out for self. There's a lot of introversion vibes, like kind of like scattered out throughout the year. So taking that time out for self will be important. Taking time away with family will be important. Understanding that you are certainly good enough and deserving enough for whatever it is that you have dreamt about, because the energy continues to gain momentum and it peaks, especially towards like October here. October seems significant, by the way. So I'm going to come back to this in October 2019 because October has been highlighted in at least 2 or 3 of the other signs that I read for. You know, so I feel like the energy is gaining momentum here. Yeah, sensitivity is highlighted. So I feel like, in a way, that's your strong suit, though. But I also think that commitment to being emotionally mature is going to be key to your success this year. Also, avoid the gossip, avoid the drama, okay? Because that's definitely here. And it could be a block for you. Maybe needing to release that, or a person that brings that in their energy, particularly if it's an air sign. So I'm like one more troll away from cutting this live off because I can see them in the chat. And it's irritating. Yeah. So don't let lack of confidence block you from moving on your goals. It'll be important to take action and to understand that you're good enough, that your ideas are worth a hearing. And I feel like there's going to be a lot of progress here, particularly towards the end of the year, but it could start as early as like summer or fall. It seems like the first part of the year for almost all of the zodiac signs so far is like purging old cycles and releasing things. So I'm not surprised to see that here, Cancer, but that's kind of like, you know, it's gaining momentum and more balance as the year goes through. So that's kind of what I felt for the collective too. If you rewind, don't mind my dog. She'll stop in a minute. So that's Cancer. This is what I get for going live on a Friday. I should have like thank you for moderating, guys. I'm gonna keep going because guess what? Negativity don't rule my life. Say what you want in the chat. I'll keep going. All right, Leo. You know, say what you want to, do what you want. I don't care. Leo. Okay. So, starting out, the energy, the answers you need are coming. Okay, so full moon in Gemini here. Then the meditate and contemplate Pisces energy here. And then you need a practical plan Taurus energy here. So, Leo. And you know what? Hold on. Cancer. I didn't tell you what zodiac signs might be highlighted. It was Pisces, Gemini. Let me see if I can find it. Leo, Capricorn. Libra, Virgo, okay, sorry, that was for Cancer. I messed that one up. Or I forgot to tell them. That's what I see. All right, Leo, back to you. I feel like in January, it's going to be all about communication. Your social circle might be highlighted. I think if you've been needing some answers or haven't had like the truth of a situation or not been able to see that, it'll definitely be highlighted in January. It'll give you cause to pause. You know what I'm saying, Leo? So it will kind of put you in this energy where you kind of take a step back and contemplate the situation. A lot of analytical vibes going on here for you. I think that you have some dreams and career ideas and things that you want to push forward, but what you're needing is more of a practical plan, or more of just a continue to work towards that. Okay, so I feel like that's going to be required of you the beginning of the year, kind of making the things that you dream about more practical and putting the time and the energy into that you need to put into that. Okay, and needing to really analyze before you go into any situations. As you go into spring, it says luck is on your side. Woo, nice. This is like Sag energy, so I feel like you may be wanting to travel, particularly in spring and summer. I'm seeing this as more like April, May-ish. So I feel like that would also be a good time to do that. Okay, so if you're looking to do that or you're planning to do that, that would be a good time there. Hold on to your vision and don't let your past hold you back, Leo. If you've been having personal issues, emotional issues, interrelationship issues, then that's going to reach a resolution, especially towards your birthday season. So now we're getting close to July and August here. So I feel like, you know, that's going to be highlighted during that time, all right? And it's kind of like not letting past issues block you, not letting yourself go into past behaviors is going to be really important during this year, because there is a new start here coming, a new start with the new moon showing up, and this is now going into September. So it's funny because as soon as things reaches a resolution, then there's that new start and things become more balanced. Okay, so sorry I wasn't showing you the cards as they were coming out. So I feel that here for you. If you had been waiting on any type of outcome, if you were needing answers in the beginning of January, then that's going to be here for you come towards, this is like October-ish time frame. Man, everybody has October highlighted. I'm going to have to look up what the significance of October 2019 is. It says kind of during Libra season, actually, that things become more balanced. It's all about understanding your own self-worth, Leo. Some of you are on the cusp of Cancer, most definitely, because they got this card. It's like you're good enough, so hold on to your vision. You know, you need to be more practical, though, in your energy, you know, and bring more love into the situation and allow yourself to be more open and available, especially towards November, December, okay, because you end with new moon in Aquarius and then surrender to the divine. So I feel like there might be some difficulties in relationships in particular, kind of towards the end of 2020. All right, and I think that's why you need to get your finances in order. I think things are going to come to a resolution, though, and it's asking you to come at the situation with more empathy and surrender to the things that you can't control. Also, understand that you are good enough for those that deserve you. All right, and either way, even if you feel like this is lose-lose, it's always win-win, because you never walk away from a situation that without something, you know. Sometimes it's a lesson you walk away with, sometimes it's the outcome you wanted, but either way you walk away with something, you know. So I did want to know what the surrender to the divine was about. Temperance. It's choosing peace and happiness over being right. Is going to be an important overall theme for Leo in towards the end of 2020. So I feel like you might feel like there's a lack of emotional support for you at times, but it's like you don't need emotional support from other people, and you need to learn that, Leo. You need emotional support from self. It's called self-love, right? And I think because the Leos live through their heart and they will do anything for the people that they love, and they never really give up on love, that they forget that you don't need anything outside of you to feel fulfilled, and to not search for that outside of you by constantly, like, for example, searching for another partner, always looking for someone to give you emotional support, or always like, you know, trying to fill that void with that. And that's all about self-love and understanding that you're not always going to have other people to support you, but surrender to that, because you're able to do that for yourself and find balance within that for yourself. So don't let the past hold you back. You know, luck is on your side this upcoming year. Hold on to your vision. A lot of personal issues are going to come to the surface to be looked at, to be resolved particularly towards like spring, summer-ish, towards your season. Remember to have empathy, but also have empathy for yourself, you know? And surrender of that of which you cannot control, Leo. That's what I feel for you here. Yeah, this is all about independence this year and being comfortable with self, standing on your own 2 feet, and highlighting that. So it could be dealing with, or what zodiac signs I should say are highlighted here is Aquarius, Gemini, Pisces, Taurus, Sagittarius, Virgo, Libra, Cancer. Oh, Southern RN and Shaylee and Carmen, you guys are going to have to message me, private message me, and tell me what's going on in the chat. I've been ignoring it. Sorry, not trying to ignore you guys that are here to actually participate, but I'm just ignoring the other person or the people in here. Oh, you did? Okay. Virgo. So, Virgo. Man, you got a bunch of cards, but they not coming out. So, Virgo, starting out January, the Sagittarius card is here, speaking about having luck on your side. So whether you felt that way towards the end of the year or not, the truth is that things are working in your favor, okay? And so also changes are highlighted here, much needed changes, possible travel needed here in January. I think it's important to remember that you're safe, you're divinely guided, protected during this time frame, okay? With the new moon and Cancer energy here. So it's just like it's like an encouragement to know that you are and your loved ones are safe, and to continue to work hard towards whatever it is that you have been working on. Okay, so for some reason I just feel that Virgo, you have been in need of this energy for a while. I think there's going to be some adjustments that are going to be required, particularly towards like the spring energy. But it's like needing to, it's almost like getting yourself out there and doing what you need to do, and then at the same time taking time out to be with yourself, to be with your thoughts, to be in a place where you're kind of contemplating, because I think there's things that you've allowed in your life that need to be adjusted and are going to be adjusted, period, especially in the spring. And you need to be able to believe in yourself and believe that things that you think are impossible are possible. The only reason it's impossible is because you've allowed your brain to believe that. Once we tell our brain something is impossible, it immediately becomes the truth. You want to know why? Because you don't put action towards things that you think are impossible because you think they're impossible. For example, if I say, it's impossible for me to be a millionaire, I grew up in the middle of nowhere. Like, I don't even have connections. It's impossible. So I'm not even going to try for it. And because you don't try for it, you've just confirmed your reality. It's never going to be possible. Do you know what I'm saying? We do this all the time. What we tell ourselves is possible and what's not. Vice versa, if I believed anybody from any walk of life, if they put enough work into it, can do it, and I believe it's possible, and then I go for it and I put that work in there, I've opened up the realm of possibility more than had I just discarded it as an impossible thought. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of the vibe that I'm feeling here, is opening up what you feel is possible for you, and things will adjustments are going to be required, but there is going to be some sort of climatic energy, especially towards June. Okay, I think your commitments are going to be tested this upcoming year, and that's could be commitments in marriage, commitments to self, commitments to career, commitments to health. But the overlying energy was that your hard work will pay off. You have to stay on that path, though, right? So, yeah. So your goals are achievable, okay? But I do feel for you, Virgo, it's going to require more work, and it's also going to require to surrender to the things that you can't control. You know what I'm saying? Because I do think Virgos like to be in the driver's seat. You're a very practical sign and like a natural creator almost. So you like to be the one calling the shots. I think this year is going to put you in a spot where you're going to be asked to give up the driver's seat, and that may be very uncomfortable for you. But it also brings in a more practical energy, especially towards November, December, where prosperity is here for you. So as long as you keep putting in the work, there's prosperity here and a practical energy. Okay, so it's like taking that impossible thought out of your mind, making some adjustments, and then, I feel like towards the end of the year, it gets more into like a stable energy, okay? Because you start out the year fiery, then emotional, then earthy. You go fire, water, earth, water. You see what, it's like high, low, high, low. You know what I'm saying? And so I feel that energy here. And like, for instance, Gemini, when I did their reading, it was consistently pretty much all blue energy, water energy. Virgo, your cards are like all over the place. So I feel like that's why this adjustments card is here, because it might be a bit of a roller coaster ride this year. All right. Your boundaries might be tested, your commitments, but surrender to the divine. You are protected here. Believe in the impossible. Keep putting the work in. And I think that at the end of the year, you'll have a look back period where you see that you can make anything possible if you put your practical time and energy into that. Okay. So zodiac signs that might be highlighted for you or of importance this year. I have Sagittarius, Cancer, Capricorn, Pisces, Aries, Taurus, Virgo. Hold on, I have a magic 8-ball question. Just in time. Well, Henry, since you're so important and you think you can just ask questions when I'm in the middle of a reading, you're going to get the magic 8-ball answer. Will he win his match on Monday Night Raw? It says it is certain. You're welcome. Oh, Southern RN, I'm so glad you got that for me. It's so fun. Yep, the magic 8-ball says, yeah, for sure. For sure. Sorry. Libra. I had to lighten the mood there for Virgo for a second. Okay. Libra. 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 Well, starting out the year with emotions running pretty high, okay, with the super moon here. Now, the thing about this energy, Libra, is there's no secrets when a super moon is here. It's like everything is illuminated, right? So I feel like your emotions might be running really high during this time frame. There might be a heavy pull there. There might be things in January that have your emotions running that way. I think it'll be important for you, especially in the first quarter of the year, to kind of go with the flow, not allow that to overcome your senses, okay? This is kind of like similar to Gemini's reading. Some of you might have Gemini in your chart. It's like nothing is set in stone. So in a way that makes Libra uncomfortable, actually, because Libras, although an air sign and very go with the flow type of vibe, they also kind of like what they like. They like some predictability because they like balance in their life. And so this can be a bit of an unsettling energy. It's also a very emotional energy. But it's like, as long as you go with the tide of your life, you know, that it will bring in new and fresh energy for you, especially come towards March. This whole period of time is asking you, you know, look at your life. What is it that you need to release? What is it that you need to forgive? What is it that you need to let go of? And then the energy continues to gain momentum here as we go into April, okay? I think commitments will be tested this year. You might be linked to a Virgo. You could have Virgo in your chart. They had a very similar energy, okay? There might be a lot of high emotions, and that could be bad, that could be good. When it comes to like relationships in particular, especially highlighted in January and then again in June. You know, so yeah. But again, commitments can be any commitment. A commitment you've made to yourself, a promise you've made to yourself might come to the surface during that time period to be looked at again. And does that still fit your life? You know, does that still fit who you are? Is that true to where you're at in your life? It looks like July looks good for money. Prosperity is here. Money and career are looking more stable as we go into like the early summer, late spring months. There's a lot of working through your internal fears, okay? Especially around the new and full moons during 2020 here. There's going to be some powerful changes this year, Libra, and I'm telling you, I don't know if it's an air sign thing. Now I'm afraid to do Aquariuses, because so far all of the air signs have had very profound readings, honestly. So you can expect change, okay? All of your cards just flew out. And it's going to ask you to surrender that energy, okay? It's all about showing the world the real you, Libra. That's what I feel here. All right, so what month is this? During like August through October, there's going to be shadow work here that's going to be required of you, where you're needing to work through your fears. Very big, powerful changes here that will be out of your control. These are kind of like tower moments. It's not always a bad thing, so don't freak out. It's just things that are karmically destined here that will create a lot of changes in your life. It's going to be important to communicate what your needs are during that time frame and have faith that this is working for your highest purpose. It's actually all of this energy here, Libra, is encouraging you to show and be and express who you really are to the world, and not just express it, but be proud of it, be happy about it. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like there's some emotional turmoil, yes, in 2020, but there's also new beginnings. But there's also energy gaining momentum. There's also financial prosperity, I feel, for a lot of you, or if nothing else, a stabilizing of it. Change is not always bad. And Libra, I feel like you should not shy away from this, okay? To go with the flow of the changes that are coming here and allow that change. And have faith in that. I think that it's okay to be yourself. You're going to be asked to be your authentic self, which means letting go of fear of judgment as well. Because I feel like sometimes Libra, you like to keep the peace. So you're very, very good at like seeing things from both people's sides, from not really choosing a side, but being like the mediator. That is a gift, okay? But also sometimes it inhibits you from showing how you really feel, because sometimes you don't always really actually see it from both sides of you. You're just trying to keep the peace. And this year's saying, you know, I don't know how else to say this, but F the peace. F the police. I don't know. Now that song is in my head. What's that? NWA? You know, F the peace, man. Because when you ignore self to create peace in others, you create chaos in yourself. This is saying, be you, you know. Not to take yourself out of balance, but you know, your inner peace and your inner world is just as important, and it is a reflection of what's going to happen to you in 2020. So work through that. I can't believe I got the song F the Police and Libra's reading. What are you doing, Libra? That's like a rebellion song. You might be rebelling in 2020, okay? All right. So, zodiac signs that are highlighted, I have Aquarius, Gemini, Scorpio, Taurus. Like I said, Virgo had the same cards. Leo. All right. I'm off today, and I've spent my entire day doing readings. That's not how I should spend a day off, you know? I gotta get out there and like do something and have a life. Is there life out there? So much you haven't done. Oh, maybe that song's for Libra. You know that song? She's done what she should, but she do what she does. She doesn't want to leave. She just wonders if there's a life out there. You know that song? Maybe that's what you're wondering, Libra. Is there life out there? Something you haven't done? All right, Scorpio. I like that song. When I was younger, I liked country a lot because my family is from Kentucky. So I kind of grew up on country, but I don't listen to country anymore. I don't like the new country. I like old country. Like when they had the banjos and stuff, like bluegrass, right? But I listen to all music. I love rap. I love R&B. I love the 80s. I love rock. I love metal. If it's good, it's good, right? Scorpio. Scorpio. All right, so Scorpio, you have nothing is yet set in stone. And then the full moon in Aquarius here, and then new moon in Aquarius, and then new moon in Scorpio. All right, so I guess it makes sense that Aquarius energy is here because Aquarius is the zodiac sign that begins every new year, January, February. But I just feel like Scorpio, this energy is that nothing's set in stone, okay? So if you feel like something is a done deal, you feel like it's fixated, it's always going to be this way, or nothing's ever going to change. In January, the energy is saying, no, actually, no, it's not. Actually, nothing is set in stone, and the situation or the energy around you, Scorpio, is very malleable. It's very movable. It's water energy. So water will take the shape of whatever you put it into. So it's like, what do you want to put it into? You know what I'm saying? And water is a representation material of emotions. So quite literally, what this is asking you is, what do you want to put your emotions in? Because that's your choice, right? And then I feel like it's going to be really important to be your authentic self. Show the world you. If you've been in an introverted phase, this is asking you to be more extroverted and bring more love and empathy into the situation and into your life, okay? This is Aquarius vibes, so this is like being authentically yourself, not wearing any masks, not hiding any feelings, not hiding anything. And I feel like that's going to be really important, and you might feel really pushed to do that, which is terrifying for Scorpio. And as I say that, what's that say? Walk through your fears, and that's Scorpio energy here. So I feel like this might feel terrifying to you. Scorpio, not the emotional piece of it, but the vulnerability piece of it that's being asked of you, right? So it's like, that might make you feel like very trepidatious. And this is saying, okay, do it anyways, right? Because the energy is changeable, so change it to your favor. So I feel like that's kind of what's going on in January, February, March. And then you go into the spring, and it's more about working through your shadow self, working through your fears, healing that piece of you, okay? And also understanding that you are being divinely guided here and protected. So the new moon in Cancer is saying you're safe. You're in a safe space to do this. So essentially what it's saying to you is, whatever it is that you fear is going to happen if you're vulnerable is a null and void. The fear is simply up here, because this is reassuring you that this is a safe time and place to do that, okay? This is the year to do that, right? Because it's being supported, meaning like you will be rewarded for that, You'll be rewarded for conquering that fear. So like if you fear rejection, or you fear being judged, or you fear not getting what you give, that's saying release that idea, because actually when you're being your authentic self and you're being like this, we're going to promise you that you're going to receive it in return. So it's kind of like a law of attraction promise almost, right? I think emotions are going to run high. A lot of emotional energy out. Okay, it's a shadow work period, especially in spring, going into June, July. It's asking you to have faith. And I love that this card is here too, because I got this card in your weekly read, Scorpio, and then I just did your January reading, which will be up later today, probably. And it came out again, and it says prosperity lies ahead. So that's what I'm talking about. Push through the energy. Push past your fears. It's a time to give rather than a time to take, okay? And I think that this year is all about equal give and take, okay? Whether that's working through it like the way, you know, not giving to people that won't give back to you, uh, being more generous with your time and energy to those who do deserve it, though, pushing past, you know, any of these fears that you have, and having faith that you're being guided here. So I think towards the end of the month, during your birthday season, November of 2020, it'll be kind of a more introverted time. You know, time to kind of take a deep breath, look at the bigger picture, especially in December. And I love that this came out in December because it's Sag energy, and Sagittarius rules December, most of December. So it's like, if you can't see the big picture now, then you're going to see the big picture come the end of December. I think that it's good. This year is going to ask you to be more vulnerable than you are comfortable with. And it'll be really easy for you to want to like kind of go back into your like introversion state. But if you do that, then I think it'll block the energy in a negative way. So this is saying you're safe. Go through this, you know, do this. Show the world your real self. Be your authentic self. Be more empathetic. It's a very emotional year, but I don't see this as like a negative thing, Scorpio. I see it as learning to give more of yourself without the fear of being hurt. You know what I'm saying? It's like, as long as you're authentic, then the promise for you in 2020 is that you're going to attract that into you. Okay. And I think you will see the bigger picture this year. So that's what I have for you. The zodiac signs that are highlighted are Sagittarius, Virgo, Taurus, Cancer, Scorpio, and then you've got Aquarius here twice. Pisces. So, also, FYI, you might have some travel coming for you in December, next December. And as it pertains to career, as long as you're being your authentic self and you're putting the work in, then I think you're going to have a much more prosperous, financially stable year this upcoming year, which is A-okay. Looks good. All right. Sagittarius. Sagittarius. I feel like I keep moving because the sun keeps moving. Yes, lion. May I help you? Sorry, somebody in my chat just says Dana. That's all it says. Yes? Yes. We should sing together? Yeah, let's sing together. See, Sagittarius. Sagittarius. Woo! So, Sagittarius. You're starting out January needing to balance yourself more spiritually and be more practical with what you're giving your time and your energy to, okay? I feel like luck is here. Luck is on your side, okay? And there's a new beginning coming in January, February, and March. I think there might be some false starts though, so I feel if you're having fear that something is going to, I don't know how to put this. I feel like Sagittarius, there is a caution here that something will start that feels like a new beginning, but actually it doesn't move forward or something doesn't come of the situation, okay? That doesn't mean luck isn't on your side. It just means that there might be a false foundation here that's going to crumble in 2020, and it'll be time to release any negative or toxic cycles in your life, particularly in the beginning, like 6 months, the beginning 2 quarters. You're going to be asked to surrender to that energy. It's like it's a very like back and forth type of vibe here, where it's like bringing balance and then a new start, and then things kind of come to a complete stop and actually go backwards for just a moment in time, and that's what in April here. And then it's kind of pushing through that energy, releasing that toxicity and surrendering to that in spring going into summer. I think that this is going to be a very changeable year. And what I mean by that is that nothing is set in stone. So it's like whatever, I think that's where the caution was about, like whatever you put your energy into, just know that there might be some unexpected changes there. That doesn't mean don't put your effort into it. That just means expect the unexpected, right? I think if you've been searching for answers, the why, the bigger picture, I see that coming through in 2020, particularly towards October, because I'm telling you, October is going to be significant. I don't know why. I think there's going to be a lot of adjustments needed this year, okay? And you might feel in a place where you're not in control at times, but I feel like this is saying, understand that, you know, go with the tide of things, bring love into the situation, and there will be balance here. If there has been trouble in paradise when it comes to love, there is a new cycle of in your romantic life that's beginning, but it's not, it's all the way at the end of December. So I feel like things may not quite get off of the ground because there's some blockages here that need to be released, whether that's within yourself or the person you're dealing with. And there is like needing to bring empathy into the situation and kind of let your emotions come through, and things will balance out, okay? So if you're worried about that in particular, things will balance out. It's going to require adjustments. Like, I feel like this is the energy, Sagittarius. Stop, go, stop, go, stop, go, stop, go. You know? Like, that's how I feel this year is going to be, this frustrating. I hate that for you, but it's somehow bringing about balance. So it's like balance is important this year. There's kind of an introverted phase in January, then you kind of go extroverted in February, kind of put yourself out there more. You might be traveling in February, and then there's a new start in March, but as soon as that new start comes, it ends. So it's a false start here. So be careful about starting anything in the month of March. Okay, because I feel like if it's not built on solid foundation, it will be voided out in April. And I don't know if there is a eclipse in April or a full moon. I'll have to look, but that could be possible. And then it's like, okay, then you start moving forward again. Let's see, May looks like a pretty prosperous month, actually, especially like financially, career-wise. And then June's kind of all about releasing any negativity that you've been holding on to and facing your fears. Similar to Scorpio, you might be dealing with one around the cusp. And it's like all about that release and bringing more love into your life, but love that's appreciated, right? I think that this is going to be a back and forth year. Things are going to change, just as similar to Virgos. It's like up, down, you know. But you're going to get a lot of answers this year that you've needed for a long time. And there's going to be some adjustments, but things come to a balance in December. And for some of you, new romance, if you've been looking for new romance. For others of you, it's a rebalancing in the relationships that you currently have. I don't know if this is a commercial or a song, but got a little love in your heart. I think that's in a commercial. Thank you for the $10 super chat. Who is that? Dottie. Thank you, Dottie. Appreciate you, girl. Yeah. For some of you, whatever this false start is, and I'm going to get clarification on that one. Sorry. It's for your highest good that nothing comes of it, okay? So don't look at that as a negative. Oh my gosh, no way. As I say, I don't feel that's a negative. Because sometimes things don't get off the ground because they weren't meant for us, right? I wanted to clarify that. I got the Chariot, the Hierophant, and the Page of Pentacles. This is guidance, blessings, and luck. So if things are moving forward, and it's like saying, don't yet invest just yet. Don't plant your seeds just yet because it's not the right time. That's what I'm telling you in March and April. I think when it looks like the best time is probably towards the winter months. Because there's just too much going on here. If you have a Cancer or a Taurus involved in the situation, I would be cautious of that especially. Or a Virgo, Capricorn. Okay. Interesting energy here, Sagittarius. I like that it all balances out. It's a nice like little period. But I think this will be a year that throws some curveballs at you, okay? So the zodiac signs that are highlighted here are Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. I've been on here for almost 2 hours. See, now I don't know if I want to go live on Sunday because as much as I love you guys, it eats away at my days off. So like I have all these days off this week, and because in addition to doing this for 2 hours, I did 2 readings before I even started, and then I have a private reading that I've already agreed to do for a friend of mine. And it's like my whole day off. I've not done anything except spend time with you guys. So, I still planned on going live on Sunday, but now I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I want a day to myself. So I didn't think I'd be online this long today. And then I still have my members club, and I like to do that. Put a little love in your heart. That was it, Dee. Thank you. Put a little love in your heart. That's a commercial. All right. Capricorn. Capricorn, you might be on the cusp of Sagittarius because you have Sagittarius energy here. Well, I like the way this starts for you, Capricorn. This is all about having luck on your side, going on, looking for adventures, looking for travel to start out your year, being more in a sociable type of mood. Communication is going to be really important, particularly in February. I feel like if you've been introverted, that definitely two extroverted energies out. That's what the encouragement is to kind of get out there, Capricorn. Put yourself out there. Don't be afraid. Luck is here for you. Um, and you have some new energy here coming in. Then you have the full moon in Capricorn. So the end of a tough cycle is here for you. Okay, and I feel like maybe you didn't really feel that way, Capricorn. Maybe you just felt like it's like one thing after another, you know what I'm saying? And this is saying, hold up. No, it's not one thing after another. Because in between those tough cycles, you've had really great things happen to you. Did you take any notice of that? If you haven't taken notice of that, then you need to take notice of that. Because this is what this is saying. You have just as many blessings as you have tough cycles. And, the end of that is here. I think that be careful about anything you put into writing, particularly in April, as things might change. The situation might change, or like a contract might change or something around that. So be cautious of that in March. It's all about showing your real self to the world and be more giving and generous of your energy, especially like June and July. Look at the bigger picture, of how it's all interconnected. I think that if you've been worried that things are going to come back around and get you or haunt you, or you get stuck in a negative mindset, it's important to remember that you are indeed safe and guided, and there's conclusions coming. So I feel like for Capricorn, this is like a conclusive year, you know what I'm saying? Where it's like some major cycles are coming through and ending here. And, if you haven't been able to reach a decision, say, in your life, or even it feels like maybe you were standing on quicksand, where like it's like everything could change at a moment's notice. The energy is much more stable this year. Okay, so I think that you should really draw off of that. And it's all about balance and spirituality and bringing love into the situation. Okay, so this looks great. I'm happy for you, Capricorn. You need this, honestly. It's definitely not as tumultuous as some of the other zodiac signs. This is more about communicating what your needs are, and I think that because you went through some really tough cycles leading up to this point, this is like a little bit of a reprieve where you get that conclusion energy, where you show the world who you really are because you don't really give a crap anymore what people think. You know what I'm saying? Like the type of people who don't give an F are the type of people who have been broken down and they don't really have anything to lose anymore at this point. It's just like, this is me, you know what I'm saying? Life has a way of humbling us, and it's not always a bad thing. It lets us be more authentic, more real, more relatable, and so I feel that here. Don't let pride get in your way this year, okay? Again, that's highlighted in October. October is important. So I think it's like, if it turns out that you've been right about a lot of things, like you get like the answers you need, the conclusions that you need, don't be egotistical about it, Capricorn. I'm saying, like, don't let anger, don't let pride, don't let your ego get in the way of your soul's growth, is what I'm saying to you. But spirituality has been highlighted for you. It's here again, highlighted again in November. And, being in a more of a place of where you can come from love and feeling that in December of 2020. So I really like that. I like that the luck is on your side here. So definite opportunities to travel in 2020, particularly January, and then again in July-ish. You know, and things kind of coming to a conclusion here towards September, October. I don't really see any messages about money other than to be more generous with it, um, if you have it. I think it's all about being your authentic self, Capricorn. That's what it's all about this year. All right. Oh, zodiac signs you might be dealing with: Aquarius, Pisces, Leo, Cancer, Sag, Virgo, Aquarius, Capricorn, Gemini, Sag. All highlighted here. You're welcome, darling. Aquarius. 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 Starting out January, I think it's going to be important for you to know that you're safe to express your emotions how you want to, okay? So I think there's a part of you that wants to express emotion, but there's also another part of you that wants to like hide in your little shell. So you might be a bit of an introvert at the current moment, or will be kind of beginning of January, which is not like you, Aquarius, because usually you extroverted in your birth month. You know what I'm saying? I celebrate a whole month for my birthday. I'm an Aquarius. But the energy here is a little bit more introverted than that. It's all about really contemplating what you need to let go of, you know, and I think that's what is going on here. You are maybe afraid to be vulnerable at this point in time and just trying to figure out, okay, so is this something I need to let go of, or should I, like, not really being sure maybe where to put your emotional energy at the beginning of the year, right? And the energy's calling you in January, February, March to surrender to the divine. Surrender what you can't control, okay, and work through your fears. So you have the new moon and then the release cards. And as I say, surrender, here's Scorpio energy. And then it says work through your fears here. So I feel like this is shadow work. Great. But shadow work isn't bad, right? So it's saying you're safe to release what you need to release, okay, and surrender you. And maybe that's really fearful. You're really afraid of doing that. You're afraid, like, if you let go, if you truly let go and let God, that you're going to lose. And I feel like that this is saying you're safe to do so, and it's okay to truly let go. And now if you ask an Aquarius to their face if they hold on to things, they'll tell you, no, I'm the king, I'm the queen of detachment. I can detach like nobody. True. But what also Aquarius doesn't want people to know is they're a fixed energy. So yeah, they can detach from that emotion very easily, like put their brain somewhere else, put their heart somewhere else, but they're also fixated, meaning like if they love somebody, they love them for life, you know. So even though they detach from it at times, they always tend to come back around to it, which can be really difficult for them to release. And this is saying, the energy is saying, go ahead and finally release that, or it's going to allow for that to happen, to surrender that and work through that fear of letting go, work through that fear of losing, work through that fear of, for some of you, being vulnerable as well. The energy is gaining momentum towards the beginning of the year, and there's a lot of things happening in the sign of Aquarius over the next decade. And so luck is on your side, I'll tell you that. I don't need any cards to pull that because it's just quite simply the way that the stars are aligned, honestly. You know, so communication is going to be important, okay? I think that you're going to be in this place, Aquarius, where you're more contemplative than you typically would be, like being much more analytical in the things that you're doing and saying. It's a lot of like cautious energy, and Aquarius, you could be one opposite or the other. Like either you're the rebel or you're like way over analyzing. You know what I'm saying? It's like you throw caution to the wind or you're over there like computing every possible result. You know, I feel like you're going to be on the end of computing every result, right? Because I think that it's taken you a lot of work to get here for 2020, all right? And prosperity is here, particularly in August. So I think as long as you keep working towards your goals, there's definitely money to be had in 2020, stability financially. You know, your hard work is paying off. So continue to keep pushing it through, continue to keep putting yourself out there, continue to keep putting that time and energy in. And it will actually help move the energy along. Okay. So you had some cards fall. Hold on. And then this says, hold your vision, be bold, and make the first move. Nothing is set in stone. You are good enough. So that's what I was talking about, Aquarius. It's going to be important that you hold on to the vision that you have for yourself in your life, and that you surrender the things that you can't control. And I think that's a fear as well, because being a fixed element, you kind of like to have control. Like Aquarius people pride themselves in having absolute control over their emotions. You know what I'm saying? Like if someone's trying to manipulate an Aquarius, it's not going to happen, because Aquarius people pride themselves in one, being able to see right fucking through it. Excuse my language. It just slipped out. My bad. Don't hurt me, YouTube. They pride themselves in seeing through it. And two, once they catch on that you're doing it, they'll do everything in their power to make sure they know that you cannot control them emotionally. So it's like they'll go double hard out of their way to not react, to not give any reaction. So like if you're trying to make them upset or like jealous or mad, and they know that, they'll go out of their way to be calm, to be to show you any emotion the opposite of the one that they know you want to get to, simply because they don't like to be manipulated. Okay, so I feel like that emotional control is really scary for an Aquarius to give up, because they pride themselves in it. They pride themselves in it. And I know that a lot of you are going to be like, I can't do it. But what the energy is asking you to do is to release a little bit of that control. Not saying allow someone to emotionally manipulate. I'm saying it's asking you to release the need to close off completely. You know what I'm saying? And know that you're safe to do that. Work through that fear. This is what I'm saying. So on an emotional level, I feel like that's what's going on, particularly towards the beginning of the year. And then I think like things kind of switch up pace, where it's like all about communication, your career, your job. Definitely hard work paying off. Money looks good here. Hold on to your vision here. Be bold this year, and know that nothing is set in stone either. Okay, so if you felt like something was unchangeable, undoable, unretraceable, I don't even know what that means. This is saying, no, it's not. You can do this, and put yourself out there. Put yourself out there, because you're good enough. And maybe you didn't feel that you were good enough in the past. Maybe you didn't have that confidence there. Maybe you allowed your insecurities to override your securities. And that's going to be worked through, I feel, at the beginning of the year if it hasn't already, leaving you more confident come 2020, the end of 2020 right here. So, the zodiac signs that are highlighted this year are Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, Pisces, Gemini, Cancer, Scorpio. The chat does look all over the place. I don't know. I don't know what's going on today. The energy is crazy right now, though. I told you guys that. It is. Like, all the crazies is just coming out. All the crazies is coming out. That's what I've been feeling. That's what I've been experiencing. Honestly. Like, I've been really introverted, and then I finally went extroverted, like, this past few days, and it's just been... like 0 to 1,000 miles per hour, you know? And now I'm like, introvert. I want to introvert again. Escape. Pisces. Pisces. It's time to take some action in January. Put yourself out there. Extroverted energy here for you. Aries energy here for you. This is also about taking a look at what do you need to let go of so that you can pursue the things that you want to pursue. And taking a look at things that no longer serve you, especially at the beginning of the year, January, February, March. A win-win outcome is forecasted for you, though, so nice. Whatever it is that you're wanting to take action on, it's like, you know, it looks good for you as far as favorability for the outcome. I think if there's been imbalances in your relationships or your life, then things look like they're going to become more balanced, especially towards March. Also, if you have any outstanding issues like in the judicial system with money and work, things look like they're going to balance out in March as well. Some of you might be getting, like, for instance, like tax returns, things like that, you know. This is going to be a time of balance and spirituality, okay, especially come April and then May. There might be some tests as far as the relationship sector goes. Okay, your commitment is being tested here. But I actually think it's a commitment to yourself. Like, you know, not letting other people intrude their energy onto your energy, Pisces, because Pisces is an empathic, intuitive sign naturally, being the 12th of the zodiac signs, all right? You're like 1 foot in earth, 1 foot in the spiritual realm. You know what I'm saying? Like, so... I think this is more of a test of a commitment to self and not allowing yourself to get too sucked up into other people's issues, other people's drama, because you need to stay committed in your own energy, all right? So I feel like balancing that and being more practical about that is going to be really important this upcoming year. I think if you had a goal that you've been working for the energy is slowly gaining momentum here. So January, February, March, April, May, June, July, especially around July, there's some powerful, powerful changes coming, okay, especially towards Leo season. So there's a time for healing during then, and then there's some powerful changes that I feel may be somewhat out of your control come August, September, and we'll see what that's about. Some of you might have tests within your marriage, within your relationships as well, particularly in the first portion of the year. And it's kind of like, what is it that needs to be released? And looking at that, I think, oh yeah, whatever it is, Pisces, if you choose not to work on it or change things, in the beginning part of the month, that change is going to come regardless. This is inevitable change here. This is like a tower moment here in September, August, like Leo time frame. And the energy is saying, step out of your comfort zone. Step out of your comfort zone. Don't let your pride get in your way. But it's a time to focus on self, okay? And what is it that you need for healing? What do you need to release? You know, because I feel like the energy is gaining momentum as the year goes. It's like when you ride a roller coaster ride. This is what I'm seeing in my mind. And you know, like the roller coaster, as it goes to the top, it takes forever. And then, like, your heart starts racing as you get closer to the top. And then here's the drop off. Well, that drop off for you looks like it's coming like fall. And it's like, whoosh, you know, it's like, it's exhilarating, but it's terrifying at the same time, right? So I feel like things are building up, I guess, and there's going to be some powerful changes here that are going to shove you out of your comfort zone, but it's so that you can heal, and it puts you in a place where you're able to be more confident in what you can give versus what you could take. You know what I'm saying? As well as somehow bringing you balance. So I definitely want to know what that is. This is. So expect changes in the people that you trust, okay? So there might be a loss of trust here in 2020. And some drama ensuing, particularly, like I said, during the early fall months. Okay, and it's going to create a lot of changes that are going to push you out of your comfort zone here. What's this? And then the Empress. So if you're concerned that you don't have everything that you need, this energy is saying, yeah, there's going to be changes here. They might be unexpected. It may feel like a loss, but it's not, because you are going to be out of your comfort zone, but at the same exact time be in your comfort zone. Meaning, like, things will change to what the norm was for you, but at the same time it brings about like a new type of comfort zone. I don't know how else to put that. Like, it's like a renewal energy, I guess. Do you know what I'm saying? It's saying be patient through this time period as well, because things will come to you. All right, things will come to you. So I feel like this is a build-up here over the first part of the year. Sorry, I know I didn't clarify everybody else's, but this is saying, yeah, you have emotional support. You're going to have some stress. It's going to take a lot of work. But it's also pushing you into more of an independent, action-oriented energy. Just be careful not to let pride get in your way. Some of you, it's literally a Leo blocking you, or Virgo energy, because those are the zodiac signs here, but it'll be different for all of you. It's saying be patient. You know, you've got support here. And it's going to push you, it's going to light a fire under your ass like you've never had a fire lit under your ass before. So, be careful who you trust. That's what I'm telling you. Be careful who you trust in 2020. All right? Because there's going to be a loss of trust here. And the only reason this would come out is if it was significant. Like, I'm not saying like you lose trust in a coworker you don't care about. I'm saying this is significant here. Or someone significant to you. Or you are the person. But whatever it is that the powerful change that is coming, then it's pushing you to be more independent here. It's also exercising your patience, which I actually feel like Pisces is a patient in general, zodiac sign. So January is kicking off like really fast for you, Pisces, putting you more in like action-oriented energy, wanting to release things. There's nice balance for you at the beginning of the year. And then things start ramping up. Like the pressure starts building around like June, July-ish. And then come the fall, there'll be some major changes here for you. All right. Okay. Zodiac signs you might be dealing with during this time frame: Virgo, Leo, Aries, Libra, Pisces. All right. So that was Pisces. I see that my entire family has left. They probably got tired of waiting for me to get offline. But I guess I'll hang out with myself now. I don't blame them. I've been online for a lot. FYI, I have already done the January. No, I've started the January reading. So like I said earlier, they're you versus them by popular vote just for January, the beginning of January. Aries and Scorpio are done. They'll be up tonight, more than likely. And then tomorrow I'll drop 2 more. The next day I'll drop 2 more, etc. I like to do them in small increments because I put everything I have into the readings. And if I try to do too many at once, they're not right. So I know some of you don't like that I slowly leak them out, but I don't care because I would rather quality over quantity. I ain't trying to put the most videos out. I'm trying to put the best videos out. You know? So you gotta be a little patient with me, loves. But thank you for sharing a part of your Friday with me. I'm wishing you guys all the very best and the best to come in 2020. And I may or may not be live on Sunday. I planned on going live on Sunday for the weeklies, but honestly, I'm drained from this one, so we'll see. I may or may not be. But either way, happy New Year's if I don't talk to you before then, and love you so much. Till next time. Namaste.